Yo ho ho! It's your Soul King Kraz, back with a most elusive agent of the world government, here to compile a stealth report for all my sky types out there. We've got our next combo guide for our boy Rob Lucci. Now, back in Pyro Wars 3, Lucci had an interesting mechanic. This was back when you effectively had two ults, your Kizuna, and your one unique action. His unique action was that you could freely swap between his human moveset and his hybrid moveset. Or at least his priest time skip hybrid mode. So what this allowed for you to do, you had two movesets with him, essentially, in Pyro Wars 3. It allowed you to have a more aggressive, slower but stronger burst damage option, or you had a faster, larger area of effect coverage option with your human moveset. In 4, what they have done, they've consolidated this unique action onto your C1. That's right, your C1 on the ground and in the air will cause Lucci to transform under certain conditions anyways. The aerial one is a little conditional. But effectively your moveset remains more or less carried over from Pyro Wars 3. A lot of the moves have not changed, and the ones that have changed, in my opinion, for the better. For your specials, you will want to reflect this blend of having aerial and ground game options by making sure that as many of your specials as possible can be used in the air. My build just so happens to have a full set of specials that you can use in the air. However, there's a few options here. So for those who like that faster ult, Six King Pistol isn't terrible, and you can use it in the air. And if you just prefer the drip of human form Rob Gooch, then Six King Pistol is actually not a terrible option. However, why I prefer Ultimate Radius Pistol is because this literally has a grouping effect on it that pulls enemies towards you as you use it. So it may be a little bit slower, but it is effectively better. Now this is an interesting special to have on repeat, and I would actually say it's not even a bad choice. However, given that this is already in your default moveset, I opt to prefer Flying Finger Pistol Sting and Tempest Kick. This is too complicated to just explain without showing it, but rest assured this move is crazy. It has some of the weirdest mobility options in the game, along with like Brook's grounded C4. We'll get into it. And your Tempest Kick, even though it's not flashy and it certainly isn't unique to this special skill, he already has Renkyaku in his toolkit. However, what this version of Tempest Kick allows you to do is to run it while you're mid-combo. So it's just a little bit of extra range extension. And let's be real, having a heal in this game is just kind of unnecessary. So this is your ideal build for our boy Rob Lucci. As for your skills, I would opt for your Core 4, your Full Force Burst Enhancement, your Cheat Death, Hero Strength, and Hidden Resolve. I would highly recommend Hidden Resolve on this build, given that you'll be running a lot of specials. Shatter is a good one to run. Top of the World is required with this build. However, Concentration is also solid, since the way that I play Lucci does actually maintain quite a bit of ground game. As for Tenacity, Tenacity is just solid to have on hand all around. I've been tossing up the effectiveness of resilience on him. I might actually end up changing it out since I've been testing out a few different builds. I might swap it out for Deadly Cadence. I've been noticing Deadly Cadence with Hidden Resolve is pretty effective. But we'll see. Yeah, and we have Bloodcurdling Blow. I do prefer that one, so we'll... take Resilience out, just because I do employ a hybrid playstyle with this build. When I say hybrid style, I mean same as with Post-Time Skip Sanji, Crocodile, and even Doflamingo in some respects. I would say that Lucci is another character that employs a good balance of strong ground game and strong air game, so you want to use both. Let's start off with your human form attacks. Your grounded light string will do just a full-on finger gun. Great knockback, good for panic crowd controlling in a tight spot. Good for getting a special on his butt. So as you just saw there, I went into my leopard form. And we'll even do it again with your light heavy. This does a little knockback around you. Sorry, a knock up. Does a little knock up. And this is actually really strong to combo with your launcher. And then back into your C1 in the air to return you to the ground faster. Your light heavy rapidly transforms you into your beast form. And then you perform this rapid flash step where you are going multiple parts of the stage while you do it. This flash stepping to different parts of your hitbox is not unique to Lucci, but Lucci certainly makes the most use out of this feature. Other characters such as Law and Brook will also make use of this feature, where some of their attacks will teleport them around different parts of the hitbox. And if you power dash out at a certain time, it'll power dash you from the point that you canceled from. So if you're able to track where your body is, you can actually manage to zip out of a specific area of the map that you choose. So let me show you, right? Light. Maybe it doesn't work on this exact move, but I do know that, at least with this special here, it does work. So we'll get into that more when we get to the special showcase, but it would appear that your light heavy does keep you kind of locked in a linear fashion. Your light heavy transforms you into your beast form and creates a Tempest kick that groups enemies together, keeps them in the Tempest kick, and then knocks them up right before the attack ends. So I'll be using this a lot. And then finally your light. Grounded C5 is a command grab. Has pretty good area of effect, but oddly enough, the damage is actually very bad. Even with my over-leveled, crazy Rob Lucci, it took me the whole combo string just to kill a basic grunt who was almost dead. We'll do it again. Oh. Okay, so maybe the stats are inflated in a specific way to make it look better, but this move, this command grab, not my first choice for burst damage or crowd control. It takes too long, it leaves you wide open, and I don't know. I guess it looks cool if you wanted to like get a little taunt move action going before you like cancel out into your ult or something like that. And that could work out pretty fun. Now let's get into your aerial. So your launcher. Your launcher is a nice little Renkaku upper. Up, and then your light string in the air is not very good. It hits a very small group of enemies. Does not do a lot of damage. Now your light heavy, on the other hand, this move is basically a shotgun. You just go in with, which is trademark, finger gun, and you blast them away. It's incredibly quick. The chip damage on armor is substantial. This is going to be your armor clearing tool with him basically 100% of the time, even if you have to spam it. Now his light, heavy. A little bit of a finger gun flurry. You can cancel out of it to combo into another one. But I like to just spam out the whole string, and then you cancel out of that final Tempest kick with another Tempest kick off of your special menu. The rush on it is decent, but this is not a very good mobility technique. This is more better for maintaining an aerial combo, making sure you don't get broken out of it. Two, three. This move is a little bit chaotic. 2, 3. 2, 3. Now, what I was saying earlier about canceling out with the teleporting mechanic, that mechanic does not seem to work with Lucci. However, what you can do with this aerial C4, you can cancel out of it before you do your little dive to the ground, and it'll actually place you a little bit higher in the air, allowing you to maintain some higher air ground. This attack will cover a large hitbox. It does not do a lot of damage, but what it does is allow you to group up enemies for more aerial burst, and it combos really nicely into your aerial C2. So we'll do that real quick, right? 1, 2, 3. Into your finger gun barrage. It's also a solid way to return to the ground, particularly if you're in your force burst. It's a good way to get yourself back to the ground faster. Good way to chip at armor. And I actually haven't noticed this until just now. If you break an enemy's armor in the middle of that attack, it'll actually pull them up into the air and keep them in a stun state with you. So that's pretty handy too. As for your aerial C4, 5, it's a pretty solid aerial string. Looks very flashy. The damage is not terrible. does do a little bit of mobility, which is nice if you already have them grouped up. Not my favorite aerial attack to go with for him. I prefer his aerial C2 and his aerial C4. But this one is also kind of good, especially for grouping, which you just saw just there. Even though I got canceled out of it, all the enemies were still grouped into your aerial C5. 2, 3, 4. And when you're in your full force burst, this will really be one of your better grouping options as well. Because it doesn't... Unlike your aerial C4, the C5 does not cause the camera to go crazy when you're locked onto an enemy. So we'll show it off here. As you can see, when the camera is locked on, when you use your aerial C4, it's a little hard to track, to say the least. Now, when you're in your beast form, there's a few things to keep in mind. All of your specials are going to have larger hitboxes on them. And so for your Tempest kick, this is incredible. It makes the special skill Tempest kick so much bigger and hit a little bit harder. Beast form is extremely useful for when you've already closed the gap as your human form. Now, with Lucci, the one aspect to his aerial game that you're really going to want to keep in the back of your head is having a means of returning to the ground. Getting yourself ground level. And in full force burst, this is going to be an interesting challenge, since a sky type cannot actually use their ground attacks while they're bursting. So one would assume that there's no way to turn into your beast form, since your beast form can only be transformed one of two ways. You can either, in your human form, use one of your special skills that allows you to turn into the leopard, which it would be these two here, your Six King pistol and your flying pistol. Both of these will turn you into your beast form even if you're already bursted. But the other way to do it, and since normally you would have to use your C1 on the ground to turn to your beast form. However, since you can't touch the ground, what the developers implemented is that when you're bursted, you can use your aerial C1 to transform into your leopard form, as long as you don't cancel out of it. So we'll just show it really quick. There it is. Now, the practicality of changing into your human form using this technique is pretty foolish, since your aerial attacks will all cause Lucci to transform back into his human form. You don't even need to worry about that. You really only need to worry about turning into your beast form. Oh, wow. Alright, so another little bonus note. Even if you're completely missed your ult, it'll still hit enemies within the nearby area. Good to know. But yeah, normally in order to turn into his zone form, you just do a little bit of that. You'll also see me using his aerial C1 to return to the ground a lot, and you may be thinking, well, how do I do that without breaking his leopard form? Well, it's simple. You power dash. That said, it does appear that power dashing does not actually help you. There we go. Maybe that will help. Okay. So it looks like they have recently patched it so that whenever you use your aerial C1, you will just transform straight back into human form. So, all the more reason to keep your top of the world strong and active. And then, in order to really maintain your beast form while you're in your form burst, you just want to spam out your aerial light strings. You want to save that flying pistol for when you've accidentally transformed back into human. But the idea behind this is that you don't even need to worry about maintaining beast form. You'll be able to throw in a grouping combo with your aerial C4, your human form groups them all up, and then your beast form sends them all flying out again. And rather than poorly explain it all, let's put it into a proper speedrun. Lucci was a character, when I was transitioning over from Pyro Warriors 3, I was worried that this character would end up suffering quite a big deal in his move over to Pyro Warriors 4. I've honestly noticed that his transition is seamless. He performs extremely well in 4. And I would definitely classify him as an A tier fighter for sure. One of the easily strongest sky types in the game, and if we're just grouping them all up by their base character movesets without any of the DLC, I would put him as one of the best sky types in the base game's roster for sure. Let's set sail. Okay, getting tossed. What's really good about your grounded Tempest kick is that it allows you to chase it while it's keeping enemies grouped. Now let's get into the air. So, with other characters such as Hancock, you'll have attacks that if you delay the combo by mashing out the attack, it does do more damage, but it also takes longer for the burst damage to kick in. So if you are using Lucci's aerial C2 and you don't spam it out, it goes immediately into the final finger blast, and that final finger blast does quite a lot of damage and has a really solid range actually. We'll show it real quick. Yeah, look at that range. That's wild. And we'll use it on this guy with armor. Look at that shit. even more insane. So definitely want to just get good at delaying those spammable combos for certain moves. Damn, Whitebeard. Really break my balls here. So this this grounded light heavy, your grounded C3, it does good damage, and what's even better about it is the grouping. Sorry, the knockback on it. The knockback on this is crazy. I think it actually has smash damage properties on it. The only reason why I don't run Giant Fist on Lucci though is simply because he does not have an abundance of smash damage sources. Now when you have someone armor broken, you want to make sure that launcher comes out and hits them, or else if the launcher misses, they will likely burst on you. Get that taunt out real quick. One thing that Lucci really accelerates at is dealing incredible amounts of burst damage very quickly with close to no setup. And the setup that he does have allows him to deal that burst damage to more enemies at a higher attack speed, at a higher area of effect. It allows you to fully capitalize on the benefits of having a hybrid playstyle, of making the most out of a sky-type mechanic. Although there was certainly room for maybe a little more development in how his moves were planned. So there you go. Now let's go fight Sabo, and what will likely end up being Sabo's matchup for impending conflicts. Oh, Doflamingo, don't knock him out of the way. There we go. It took me a while to get used to hectic combat style, but our man Rob Lucci does not disappoint. This also ushers in a glorious new chapter and the Power Warriors combo guides. Very excited to get started on the Marines of One Piece. And technically, yes, I know he is Cipher Pol, but come on, they're all world government. They're all Marines. They're all in there. Very excited to get started on the next Marine combo guide. We'll leave that up to suspense for you to enjoy the possibility of guessing who it'll be. I already know who it is. I'm very excited for the next guide. And until next time.